Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Crafty Crow Show. As you've seen in our last video, we started making our workbench. So when it got late on us, I got tired because I've been working all day. So we was going to come back and finish this up. Now hopefully you can see me because I can't tell. And hopefully you can hear me. And I'll quit trying to yell into the microphone because that's chaos in editing. So what we're going to do today, I've checked this right before turning the camera on, and actually, as tired as I was, and I don't know how I done it, but ended up getting fairly level right out of the gate. So I thought I was going to have to do some adjustment. I was worried about the height. I was wanting the height set at 36 inches on the workbench height, and I totally forgot to calculate in the top, which is 3/4 plywood. So I'm going to be right at 37 inches for it with. But kind of standing here this morning before I turned the camera on, kind of looking at what I had to do and getting everything in my mind going. I think it's still going to be good. I actually found a stool that is adjustable, so I think it'll be good for setting height. I can adjust that around, do some fine work a little bit closer with setting down. Standing up using a hand planer or anything, I'm not going to be able to get as much force into it, but from what I researched, this is kind of the good general area to have a height. A workbench or a woodwork bench should be shorter from what I'm seeing, and fine detailed work stuff should be a little higher. So this is a good right in the middle range for both. So I think we'll be good with this height. I'm pretty happy with the height actually. And again, I'm really surprised that I got the thing as level as I can get. We might still have to shim a little bit or something on the bottom. We'll see once we get the top on, because a lot of this will sink up to the top and kind of consolidate everything. But next thing on the list before we put the top on, I wanted to put some cross bracing in the middle of all this because I want this a good solid bench. I want it to be heavy. That way any kind of hand planing, working on it, beating on it, it's not going to be shaking too much, and it's going to be good and solid for us, which is something I think you really want in a workbench, something good and solid. So I'm going to put some cross bracing in all this. I'm going to go out and cut it without filming it because we done enough of that on the last one. But I'll bring them in and show you when I start putting it together. And then we'll put the top on, try to get everything good and square, leveled up. I am going to have to cut this out, which is fine. And I'll probably do that with the Sawzall again because it's easier. But yeah, really surprised that it was, like I said, as level as it was and everything. Everything looks pretty good and square. I think I need to square up in here a little bit, but the rest of it looks pretty straight and square. So let's quit running our jaw. Let's get into it. Let's finish this workbench up today. So we've got a good solid foundation to build the rest of our workshop on. So stick with me, guys. Let's get this done. Okay, everyone, we've got all of our stuff pre-cut. If you've not noticed, I like pre-cutting things. If you can, it's good because do all your cutting at once, do all your assembly at once. Kind of helps the back and forth, running back and forth. Kind of helps you be a little bit more efficient with your work. And that's just something I've kind of learned over the years. Now, I will admit, using a Sawzall is not the best way to get good flush cuts. So this might not work. I don't know. It's going to be tight, which is supposed to be tight, but working with what we got. We're being crafty, right? Part of the being crafty is using what you got to your advantage. So, I'll try to show little tips that I might have learned along the years. So pre-cutting as much as you can is a good idea. And then you do your assembly. You might still have to go back and forth if you forget a few things like I normally do, but it's a good idea. It'll help you be more efficient in your workflow, especially when you're working by yourself. It's a real big thing to be efficient. So I've already pre-ordered some screws to make life easier for the filming, but, and I have one of Papa's old hammers. I know it's just a wooden hammer, but this is, I finally looked up the logo. This is a Bluegrass Tools hammer. Didn't know the company existed, so I'll give you a little side note right quick. Bluegrass Tools, I think it was Belt Map was the main company, but they were out of Louisville, Kentucky. Sold all kinds of hand tools. So since I found this hammer, researched that and found that company, started doing a little bit of collecting on the Bluegrass Tools because I'm a Kentucky boy. And I just kind of think it's kind of cool. I'm a sentimental kind of person, so I get sentimental about stupid stuff sometimes. But Bluegrass Tools. And me and John argue over this hammer. He likes this hammer. He says it's his. I say it's mine. Don't matter whose it is, I'm using it right now. But first one in the collection. I've only got a few things, but always on the lookout for Bluegrass Tools. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I know I'm in some Facebook groups that one of them is just dedicated to Bluegrass Tools, and I believe the hand plane, when I redo it, is a Bluegrass tool, or it's a belt map tool. It's not actually a Bluegrass, but I've been getting a lot of help from those guys off Facebook on trying to identify that thing and get some information before I do the video on it, so you all know a little bit more about it. So I really appreciate those guys. And I've also got more insight into the company. So anyway, that's my advertisement for Bluegrass Tools, which don't exist anymore, of course. But let's see if we can get these things in here. And this is my little, my small persuader, we'll say. With this thing being a little bit out of square, because I knew it would be, these first couple ones are going to be tight, and then they'll get about the right length. So it might push it out too much. I might have to shave some off, but we'll see. What we want to do with that is find what we've done with our speed square. Was it still? Oh, no. Got it sitting right there in front of my face. If it'd been a snake, it'd done kill me. Of course, if it'd been a snake, I'd have been running out of the building. Yeah, it's not super critical. Get these good and square, but adding this extra bracing inside not only gives extra strength, but it helps keep the whole frame square. What I should have done, probably hindsight, built my frame first, got it square, and then put the legs on. I know that would have been better, but as I said in the last video, I hate working on the ground. So, that looks good and square. Put a couple of screws in it. Alright, we'll make sure that's flush. Just set down just below so it don't hit the tabletop. But pretty flush with it. We're for sure want to have a good, I mean, we don't want to weight your tabletop, but you know what I mean. So, let's see. I don't know if you're in frame or not on this, so let's do a little time lapse. We'll get this done, then I'll be back with you. Okay. There was a little bit of finagling and persuading, we'll say, get this thing squared up. Measurements were off a little bit. It's just going to happen. But we've got everything ready now to cut this. I've got it, the top screwed down just along the edges on 3 of them. I didn't do across where I'm getting ready to cut yet. So we're going to try to get the hole. I've drilled a hole right here at the corner just to make it easier. And I forgot that I've got the jigsaw. So we're going to use a jigsaw on it instead of using that big old Sawzall, because it's probably a little bit finer cut and be a little bit finer edge, especially since this is the edge we're going to be setting up against. So we'll try to mark me some straight lines and we're going to try to get this thing cut right. Again, not the best cutters. Like I said, I'm thinking down this end, I've got a small vise I need to redo, but it's a Wilton vise. It's a good little vise. And have that on the corner for anything I want to do over there. There's another little gadget that's still in the box cap I had. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not going to take it out of the box. I'll show you though if I put it on here on this side. But and then this length is for anything long. I've made a couple of blanket ladders and stuff for Christmas presents and things last year. And everybody like that, and you know, it's coming up Christmas. I wouldn't mind being able to get this going, and if we need any gifts, I think we've already got them, but I like the handmade gifts a little bit better. It gives a little more, I don't know, to me it just kind of makes you feel like somebody put a little more thought into it when they make you a homemade gift like that. So I'm going to quit talking because I keep stalling, but I'm kind of savoring the moment. This is just exciting, guys. So squared up all the legs, got all the legs anchored into the floor. So this thing, I mean, you can see it's not really wiggling much. And I might still end up having to put another couple of legs on it. I don't know yet, we'll find out. But let's cut this notch out, shut up talking, and then see kind of what our end result is. And there we go. Guys, I think this is going to work great for us. Yeah, I'm real happy with it. I'm glad to finally have this done, I tell you. I've got, I don't know how many different ideas of what to do with this. And like I said, build it, and once you get it built, I've got a stool, I'm gonna put it together, and I'll come here and just sit and think. And then, you know, once I start doing some projects, you'll start thinking where you might need stuff. So you build off of the base like anything else. But you build off the foundation. I think this is gonna be a good foundation for us. Just be able to give you some more room on the other side over kind of where the camera is. I'll have a whole tool rack behind me that I can just turn around and grab stuff if we need it. We can work long ways on the other side with nothing in our way. Yeah. So I'm going to screw down the rest of this. Won't bore you with that. But I think this is all we're going to be doing for the bench. I'm going to make sure it's secure. It's squared up as good as I'm going to get it now. It's built as good as I'm going to get it. Nice flat tabletop. We're moving right along, guys. We're moving right along. So, hope you like these past 2 videos. You know, like I said, I want to take you all with me on the journey. Any of you watching, any suggestions on your workbenches, or you know what, I ain't gonna talk to you from across the room. Hold on just a second, let's move you around. There, ain't that better? You can see my beautiful face. Maybe not so much. So, like I said, that's the end of the workbench build. Glad y'all stopped by and have checked out both videos. You know, I want to bring you along with us and see the progression of it. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. The comments especially. As the past couple of weeks, I've been getting more and more comments and interaction. I love it. You know, I love some of y'all have said that I've helped you with the Mountaineer knife. And if you're looking for a good bushcraft knife, we'll link that right there for you. Go check that out. Just comment on videos, sharing, and gave some good suggestions. So I can really appreciate all of it. I really do. And I love having conversations with you about it. So if you've got some way you set up your workbench or something, let me know. You know, it might be something I'm not thought of or something I'd really like. Even if I have thought of it, you know, I'll let you know and try to give you a shout out if you have a really good one. But just everybody keep being calm. Try to make most of my videos not too out there, uptight, you know, just kind of relaxing. And we all know we need a lot of that right now. We really do. So again, thanks for the support, everybody. I'm glad y'all stopped by to come check this out. The next thing we'll be doing, this back wall, I thought about a French cleat system maybe. I'm not totally sure if I want to go with that. I know that some of the overhead boards and stuff, they're big old wide, I don't know if it's 2x6s or 2x10s, but I'm probably gonna lay them flat up against the wall, make a solid wall with it. And then I don't know if they'll do a French cleat system or what like that. So if you don't know what that is, stay tuned and I might be showing you, because that's kind of the direction I'm heading with it. But other than that, I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up. We'll put the rest of my screws in, secure everything, and put my chair together, and then probably just sit here, enjoy my table that I've got built out of my scrap lumber, and do some figuring and do some thinking. But give me your comments, guys. Like I said before, like and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you all for coming, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, be good to one another as the good Lord tells you to, and we'll see you next time.